We're good.
Welcome to the Sean Geek Podcast.
Welcome.
Satin.
Are you waiting for it? Desire.
That's what I was waiting for. We got in the studio today, who do we got?
JP Bifanaboy204.
That's right. And who's this other guy?
Man,
Teacher man.
I just walked in off the street. You don't even know who I am. Who am I? I'm Paulo. Hi.
I'm glad he's finally
He needs
here.
a handle.
Where?
He needs
he
a
does.
handle.
I don't.
Like a wrestling name.
It's Paulo Picante, right? The nickname?
Picante?
No.
You know, in some circles,
Spicy.
they like to refer to me as Paulo Picante.
Okay. What was your radio name? The DJ?
Paulo
When you-
Picante.
Was it? Okay. See.
Those weren't even the circles I was talking about. I forgot about that. How did I forget about that? Jeez, I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, because he even interviewed Swollen members.
Yeah.
Paulo.
Swollen
Wait, do
numbers.
we mean the band or we mean something else?
I mean the hip hop.
Do we mean that show that is their parents watched?
Oh
the
yes,
last podcast?
yes, yeah.
No, the band,
No,
the
the
group
hip hop group,
Yeah.
Canadian. Yeah, Mad
back
Child.
in the day.
Swollen members, yeah.
Back up in Thompson
That's cool.
at
What was the radio station?
610 CHTM.
Wow.
Can you do the official call?
Do the official call.
Yeah, how you do it.
How I would do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I like. Let's see. I worked in Flin Flon too, right?
Yeah.
Flin Flon was CFAR 590. I like that one better because I would just go CFAR 590, and then the music would like kick in right away, like so people kind of.
Where's our music?
I'd get comments about that.
I don't have it hooked up.
610 CHTM was just like can't do much with that. 610 CHTM. 610 CHTM. Yeah. Anyways.
Sean Geek Podcast. It doesn't have any flair.
The
No, you
Sean Geek Podcast.
Or coming to you.
Or you need your deep voice, man.
Straight,
Yeah.
Deep voice.
Straight from Winterpeg, Manitoba, Canada. The Sean Geek Podcast.
From the bowels of
Here we
Canada.
should. I might just edit that part out, and that'll be our intro every week.
Yeah.
First off, I wanted Todd.
Yes.
Now I refer to you as Todd in the episode, but everyone knows you as FastFretFingers. Are we renaming you? Are we rebranding
Rebranding?
FastFretFingers to the new name of your YouTube channel?
Or I could just change the YouTube channel to FastFretFingers.
No. Do what you want.
Because actually that's what it was. But because what we were trying to do was, well, I mean, okay, so you have the SeanMcGinnity.ca site.
Yep.
Okay. And you have all
Where is that again?
SeanMcGinnity.ca.
I didn't hear that. Sean who?
McGinnity.ca.
Oh, okay. .ca you said, right?
That's it.
.ca, yeah. So, and I think the Geeks, we had a YouTube channel. I don't know, just kind of not rebranding, just kind of an offshoot.
Yep.
And I was just going to offshoot and have some tech tips.
Yep.
And just have my own channel on YouTube for that.
And what are you calling it?
Well, I just had it at Todd Geeks
Tech Talk.
Tech Talk. So
I like it.
yeah,
I can vouch for it because I watched
I started
episode.
a couple videos. So just
very helpful.
for anybody who wants to.
So if you don't want to find on YouTube, is it just Todd Geek, one word? Todd Geeks Tech Talk?
You know what? I'd have to look now.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
We'll have to have a link in the description.
Geeks.
And I can say I
I didn't get that far.
I watched your first video. You have 2 now, right? Or you have 3?
I have 2.
Okay, you have 2. I watched the first one, and it was super helpful. Super, super helpful. Yeah.
And I was using the iRig as a podcast tool through the phone. I created a second one. The first one I created, and what I did is I figured the video, I tried to make it as high end as possible. So I took the highest video capture I could use at 60 frames a second. So you'll notice it's very, very smooth. The first one. It took forever to load, but it's very smooth. The second one, I think it was just at 30 frames per second. So it's not as high def as the first one. But
the important thing for like me was that what I was looking for, you were able to help me with. So it was helpful. It was anybody who's looking to start a podcast or to learn a little bit more about the tech side of this. Definitely a good resource to go to.
Well, thank you.
I
I'm just
thought it
starting.
was, just even the way like your elocution, is that the word? Like the way you spoke, like it was clear, It was very concise, but it was also, I don't know, entertaining is the word. Like, you weren't bored watching it.
Do you know how many takes it took to go from one? Oh yeah, it took a while, but yeah, the more is going to come.
Yeah,
there's more to come. So
I just tried to do a search, so I might help you on your SEO.
Okay.
On there because it didn't come up at all.
Well, because it says to put these keywords in and what. I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, that's something that we'll talk about when you guys,
Keywords.
There's keywords you want to make sure
So people can search.
they're embedded into your site to make sure it's searchable. If you don't have the keywords in there, your site's not searchable.
Okay.
That makes
It's
sense.
a whole.
Yeah. Somebody random found me though.
Yeah.
Had some comments on my second one.
So maybe it would help for us, Johnny, if we actually had words spelled correctly.
Yes, yes.
And not the Portuguese English translation of the
yes.
word.
Well, you can put both actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's multiple search. I don't know how many you can put in.
Yeah,
there.
well, I have 3 per page on mine, like 3 for each page. So I have my home page,
Right.
and then I have, if you click on the podcast, that's another page. I have 3 there, and then within my podcast page, there's like 8 pages. So each one of those like as you scroll down, that's actually 8 pages.
Right.
So each one of those 8 pages has that keyword on all of them. Those 3 keywords on all of them.
Sweet.
I'll show you how to do
We'll
that.
have to talk.
Ready, JP? ¿Dónde está el zapaterio?
Whoa.
What movie is that from? ¿Dónde
I feel like I
está
should know this.
el zapaterio?
I've gone on.
Is this a Brazilian movie?
Nope.
Is it an English
Is
movie
this,
that has
is this Antonio Banderas movie? It sounds like something he would like.
No, that's actually a comedy.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Donde está el...
It's got
So it's Spanish then.
Sean Astin is the star of it.
Sean Ashton.
Kim
Who's that?
Aston.
Sean Astin. He was
Sean Astin from the Goonies?
Yeah.
And Rudy?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
And Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
That
He
guy's
says
awesome.
that in there?
Sam Gamgee. No, it's not from Lord of the
Okay.
Rings. No. Encino Man.
Oh, I love that movie with Brendan Fraser. I
Yes,
love him.
man. We talked about it last episode.
Oh, you did? Nice.
We had a big Brendan Fraser discussion.
Oh man, I like that guy. I really think
Go
he's
listen to the
underrated.
episode. Yeah,
I
listen to
really
the
do.
episode. It's the one that came out
I
last
will.
week.
I will. I'm glad you're giving respect to that guy because I
Hell
think
yeah.
people forget about him. I
No,
really
they
like
do. That guy's actually
and
great.
the Mummy was on, and I go crazy when
yeah.
the film's on.
It was in The Mummy?
He was the lead actor in the Mummy,
The Mummy from
not
the,
Tom Cruise's Mummy.
from the 90s.
yes, from
right?
the 90s. And
90s.
Rachel Weisz is lead, who's
The Mum-
smoking hot.
Oh,
The
Rachel
Mummy,
Weisz is awesome.
the Mummy like mummies from Egypt.
Yes,
And pyramids.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
Why can't I
He's the lead.
The Rock made his debut in
Yes.
the Mummy movie.
In
Yeah,
the
the
Scorpion
Scorpion.
King.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scorpion
Yeah.
King. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your name
Am I
is.
thinking the wrong guy? Rudy. You're thinking Rudy. University of Notre Dame.
Yes, but I'm
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Then he talked about Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
'cause
Brendan
he said
Fraser
on the last episode,
was-
which I'm going to listen to.
So who are you
and I
talking
want-
about? You talking about Brendan Fraser now?
Yes.
Man, you guys are...
Okay, so this is awesome. Brendan Fraser
Polar.
gets 2 episodes, 2 episode mentions.
Wow.
We're behind you, Brandon. Brendan.
Maybe learn his name first.
Yeah. And
Encino Man was freaking awesome. I watched that movie at least once a year, maybe a couple times a year, every year.
you know, another one was like the guy he was really, really good. I thought I thought he was very, very underrated. And then he kind of disappeared.
Okay, why are you saying under? Okay, so you're thinking of a movie in particular.
There's a really good movie with him.
Yeah.
It's with
I think
where
we-
he's an academic.
Yep.
And
That's the one I'm
I was
thinking.
actually had tears.
Yeah.
Because
I cried at that movie.
yeah. And why
School Ties.
Thank you. Yes.
I have that movie at home.
Yeah, that's
That-
really well done.
Great freaking
That
movie.
that movie was well acted from like beginning to end, directed well.
It had the
everything.
same feeling like a Good Will Hunting.
Yes,
Or
yeah.
that Rob Williams one,
Yes.
Dead Poet Society. It
Yes.
was like that heavy. But
Yeah.
It was that good.
Yeah.
It was about a
And he
Jewish
had-
kid. It was
and
about
he
a,
had Joe Pesci play the professor.
Yep.
That was, and he was living in a van. He was having difficulties, I guess, to do a paper.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like his mentor.
Yes.
And-
And he was Jewish, and he lied about his being Jewish because
Yes.
he wanted to get into the school.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
an anti-Semitic type of school.
Never heard of this movie.
No?
No, and
It's
it's
really
very
good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene even in the van when he's trying to help him out because he's become homeless. Joe Pesci's
yeah.
character. And it's a good movie.
That's a really good movie.
I mean, Joe Pesci wasn't playing a gangster?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't beating up anyone or no.
You know,
really talk with that
With
That accent. Todd does the accent the best.
both of you guys just did it.
Todd, how do you do that?
They always fuck at the drive-through.
Yeah, but
Just one line.
that guy's a well-versed actor, though, Joe Pesci. So he could do people know him from Home
Oh
Alone.
no,
too.
he's good. He's
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
he's
he
an
can do
actual
anything.
act. He's an
Yeah.
actor's actor.
Yeah.
Friday night at midnight, my cousin Vinny comes on TV.
Yeah,
I'm,
that's a great movie.
I'm ready
Ralph
to go to bed.
Macchio as
I-
well.
So
That-
for me,
Yeah.
my cousin Vinny is, if it's on TV, I have to watch it.
Oh yeah,
It's one of those movies
That's
where
that movie.
it's like I have to watch it. I have actually, prior to Friday night, because I actually stayed up to watch the whole thing. I had never seen it beginning to end.
No way.
I've always seen it like
In clips.
from the middle to the end.
Yeah.
The beginning to the middle. Like I've never seen the whole thing in clips. Yeah. So I actually watched the whole thing from beginning to end.
That's a great movie.
That's my like. If it's on, I have to watch it. Everything else is put on hold so I can watch my cousin Vinny.
The kids are like, Daddy. My cousin Vinny's son. Play with your Lego.
Yeah, go play,
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Go. My
With
cousin
your-
Vinny's on TV.
Yeah.
What's yours? Do you have a movie like that? If it's
Yeah,
on TV, you have
let's.
to watch it.
This is a good discussion. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, I have Back to the Future. I don't know what
Oh,
it is. And
yes.
Police Academy.
Yes.
When they go on there, I don't know what it is. I have to watch out, or I'll be late for work, or if I'm going, I just get glued to Marty McFly and Doc and Great Scott and all
Great
the
Scott.
stuff they do. And
What are
where'd
you doing, gigawatts?
Yeah, nice.
That's pretty good too.
And even a whole thing. Where did you learn how to shoot like that? 7-Eleven. Nikkei. Remember that? When he's shooting, that's number 3.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then I remember my father going to number 3 together when it
Oh,
came
yeah?
out. Right when it came out.
Are you
And we
serious?
got
Yeah.
a poster and everything.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me, those movies. I love
Those
those.
movies are awesome, man.
And they're so good. And then you have Nikkei. He walks into the bar and he's Nikkei, what kind of shoes are these? Or what do you have?
Nikkei, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like reading, and then she goes, Calvin. And it's his mom.
Yeah.
Remember?
Because his underwear said Calvin
Yes,
Klein.
Calvin Klein.
That
And then,
was his
Calvin, are you okay? No, you shouldn't be touching me there. Remember, he's
Yeah.
freaking out. That's his mom.
But she's hot.
Yes.
But it's my mom.
Yeah.
That part got a little weird.
Yeah. But that actress, too, is so good, too.
Oh,
man.
God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
Yes.
That's all I got to
Howard
say.
the Duck, yes, you are right.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
She was,
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
she
yeah.
was the romantic
Yes.
interest.
Yes.
She had a romantic interest
She
in a
always
duck.
play these weird characters.
Yeah.
Going
Yeah.
after her son.
They going
Being
after
with
a
a
duck.
duck.
Who is that? That's
I don't know her
Leah
name.
Thompson.
Yes, Leah Thompson.
Yeah,
She's
and then
so
she
good. Her
had that-
daughter now, daughter's beautiful.
Oh,
She has a daughter in films, man.
She has that show that Sylvia was watching. It was about. I can't think what it is now. It's a good. I'm looking
Can't
it
help
up.
you, man. I
Keep
don't know.
talking.
She's been in so many films, though. Remember, she was one with where she was one of the love interests. She was and then he ends up, and it's an older movie, 90s, and it's really well done. And now I can't remember what it's called, but that was
She's been in tons of things.
tons of
she's-
films. Yeah,
I just can't. I don't remember them.
There
right
was
now.
her. There was 2 actresses. Around that time, there was Leah Thompson.
and that Eric Stoltz is in it. And they have the love interest. Leah Thompson is that cheerleader he wants. He finally gets her, but then he ends up falling in love with the girl all along that he was friends with.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called now. Eric Stoltz is the lead actor. Man, he was supposed
16
to play.
Candles.
No,
Pretty in Pink.
no. It was
Eric Stoltz, who was also Marty McFly.
Yeah, and he was Marty McFly at first, and then they had
They actually
to do,
fought. Like, didn't they film like an hour?
Yeah,
of the
they
movie
filmed
or
of him.
something?
Yeah, there is of him as Marty McFly.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they go. He's a great actor, but we don't find. And then they ended up doing it again, and going. We need to find. And then they were able to find Michael J. Fox. So there is film footage. It's kind of like trippy for like when I was watching it.
Right.
Todd, you're
Caroline in the City. That's the show I was trying to think of.
Caroline
okay.
in the City.
Yeah.
But you look and you're like, that's Eric Stoltz, and he's getting out of the car and he's talking, doing the whole
Yeah.
thing, and then you have Christopher Lloyd, and I'm like, whoa, how did
Yeah.
they even keep this footage? And sometimes stuff like that gets lost.
But they
right?
spent a
Oh, yeah.
lot of freaking money to recast because the director's like, no, we have to. Eric Stoltz is probably the better actor of the 2,
yes,
but
yes.
not for this kind of movie.
Yes, and there's that movie though. I hope they never touch. Like, don't remake, please. Leave that.
They don't
alone.
need to, it's perfect.
No, I just hope they don't. And I know that they were talking about one of the directors or like makers was saying he wouldn't, like, until he's dead, he's not going to allow.
Yeah,
or he'll
good.
put in his will to try, because you don't want to remake. And don't get me wrong, there is some stuff they've done well remaking, but some stuff, why? There's scripts out there that are really good. The problem is they don't make money. They go with just the big, the big money they know. That's
Oh yeah,
gonna come out.
exactly. What I liked was Avengers Endgame referenced Back to the Future like crazy.
See, that's awesome.
You saw it, right?
I know.
I
I
haven't seen
saw.
it either yet.
I saw
Oh,
Spider-Man.
I'm sorry.
with my-
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I
No,
didn't
no,
wanna
it's
spoil
okay.
it,
I
but-
saw Spider-Man, and I'm with my uncle in the theater, and I'm like, I think I should have watched the Avengers. What am I doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Well,
Boom, spoiler.
Well, they
Oh,
basically
no.
said
Really?
Yeah.
they said we know how time travel works. We saw Back to the Future. That
Yeah.
was like, and then they reference it multiple
Wow.
times through the movie because it's like, you know what? This is a classic
Oh,
film.
totally.
Todd, what's yours?
My favorite movie?
Well, the movie that you just if it's on,
Oh,
you don't turn it off.
Terminator 2.
Terminator
Oh,
2.
I'll be
Terminator
back.
2.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The soundtrack is great too with the GNR and Thorogood and it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know
I don't-
they're doing another one too. You know that, right?
New Terminator, yeah.
Yeah,
Are
4.
we doing Terminator?
Yeah, yeah.
But James Cameron is back on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
not writing or directing,
He's
but
producing.
he's producer.
I
But
think
the,
he's
they're,
producing.
who the director?
And
they
Linda
got?
Hamilton's in it. They have a new Terminator, and they have the old one too, like Arnold. So he's
Is he in it?
It's called Terminator: Dark Fate.
and he's the governor. He's the governor of Terminators.
Are you serious?
No, I just made that up.
Governor of Terminator.
I'm like, you know what? They might do that. Like,
Yeah,
they could
I'm
do
the
that.
governor of Terminators.
Okay, so I'm just pulling it up here. So, it's directed by Tim Miller, the guy who did the first Deadpool.
Oh wow!
Yeah, with a screenplay by David Goyer, who actually was the guy who co-wrote a lot of the DC movies. He wrote all the Batman movies, like the
Whoa.
ones with Christopher Nolan. He was
Cool.
the guy. He was the guy that was brought in. That the director brought in. So I need someone who knows DC comics, and also written by James Cameron was part of the story. So he actually has involvement, and it can apparently, from what I heard, it has nothing to do with any of the Terminator films but 1 and 2, and they're just disregarding everything else that came.
See, I don't like that though. I'm not a fan of when they do stuff like that.
They did that with Superman too.
Yeah,
When Superman
How do you
Returns came out,
disregard
they just
everything?
but they did that for Halloween too. Remember the Halloween, the last one?
Yeah.
They forgot all the other movies. They went straight from first to second. Sometimes that does where I guess if you can get the writing, I understand Paul's point, but if you can get the writing where it's a good story, it's all about the story, man. That's the main thing. But I know what you mean. I know it's hard for people to forget, but if you can get a good story and get people engaged, I think you could go a long way if you reboot it. Because sometimes they could do that where they get it fresh.
Well, if it's done right,
Fresh
yeah.
story, yes. And remember the movie I was telling you about?
But then they're keeping Linda Hamilton in it.
Yeah.
Like how does that work then?
Apparently she's aged.
Oh no, yeah, this
yes.
is like
Yeah.
this is current day, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And it's been that long since.
Yes, and Arnold is like that older Terminator.
Yeah.
and
So how do you remember how? So they're
Do they age?
they're explaining the aging process. I know what it is, but do you know?
no, I didn't.
So there was multiple Terminators that were sent, right?
Right.
So they all have Arnold's face, right?
Okay.
Now,
Is this still Cyberdyne or whatever they
yeah,
called it?
yeah, it's still Cyberdyne. But then one that would have been sent back 30, 40 years ago, well, the skin over top of the metal chassis or whatever, that still ages. So this would have to be one that was stuck back in 1984 or whatever Terminator was. So that Terminator, I guess, has been in the timeline.
And he only takes VHS tapes, so you got to be careful.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
Just as strong though? Is that like the
Well,
the
the
young
skin-
guy who dresses up like the old guy and starts playing basketball with these kids and he's like an NBA star and he just waxes their ass and then he just kind of walks
And then he
off
rips.
well, no, not
rips the
even.
face off.
Just leaves, and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? Like Bad Grandpa.
So,
Seen
like,
that
Bad
movie?
I
Grandpa,
love
yeah.
Bad Grandpa. That's a funny movie.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Is there any other movies that you guys just can't turn off when it pops up?
Police Academy.
They added them all to net. They added it to Netflix.
Yes. Police Academy.
Breakfast Club.
Oh,
Breakfast Club.
yeah.
That's a good movie. And remember the movie I was telling you about with Leah Thompson and Eric Stoltz that I
Yeah.
told you I like, and it's like one of some kind of wonderful.
Oh yeah, Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah.
God, yeah, of course.
That's the movie, and then she's the love interest, the cheerleader, and then he finally
She won.
Yes. And Mary Stuart Masterson, he ends up.
That's the one.
Remember,
I was thinking
drives him. I
Mary,
love those.
wait, are they both in that same movie?
Yes,
Okay,
they're both
that's- okay.
super fine women too, as well.
Do you know who that is?
No.
She's right there on.
Todd, do you know who that is?
You mean she's a man? You hit the wrong button, buddy.
Right there. Yeah, I know I did. I pressed
Mary
one of the
Stuart
other actors.
Masterson.
So she's done tons of films. She's really good.
What was she?
No.
Leaving Las Vegas. Is that her?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe.
What was her name?
Mary Stuart Masterson.
She got an Oscar,
Mary
right?
Stuart
Yes.
Masterson.
No. She was nominated for sure.
Yes, she's a great actress.
Mary Stuart Masterson is an American actress.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that all you got?
That's what I told the.
That's all I got. Starred in films at close range. Some Kind of Wonderful. Chances are fried chicken.
Yeah.
Fried chicken tomatoes. Fried green tomatoes.
Fried chicken tomatoes. That'd be good.
Benny and June. June. J-O-O-N.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she played June.
J-O-O-N.
Or no, yeah, she
Yes.
played.
Yes.
Not
Oh.
J-U-N-E.
Yeah.
No. Benny
Okay.
and June. That's that was when Johnny Depp was still making edgy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a great freaking movie. I'm Fried Green Tomatoes is one of my favorite movies.
You like that a lot?
Yeah, I
that's
do.
a good. That's a good movie.
I've probably seen it about 50 times.
Okay, now I see it. Well, because when I scroll down to see Some Kind of Wonderful, now I recognize her.
And
I
that
guess
movie-
when
that
she's
movie-
older, she
yeah.
doesn't look exactly the same.
And then I have to say, going back to Sandler. I know earlier on you were
Oh,
talking.
yeah, man, that's
Billy
right.
Madison, man. Oh, Doyle rules.
Eh,
You know all that.
Any Adam Sandler
Yeah.
movie.
Oh wait, no, it's not Mary. That's not the actress that was in Leaving Las Vegas.
Okay.
It was Catherine Mary Stewart.
Okay.
You're mixing the two
my
up,
bad.
but
My
no,
bad,
but they're
yes.
still in that same era.
Yeah.
What's the name of, on Saturday Night Live? The character, the cheerleader character, is always nervous and she puts her arms under
Oh yeah,
her.
that was Mary.
Isn't that Kathy?
She smells her
Catherine?
tits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
superstar.
Catherine Mary. Isn't it something?
Yes,
Catherine Mary is something
yes.
too?
This is Catherine Mary Stewart.
Oh wow. Okay, I know. Yeah.
No.
Doesn't look familiar.
So one of my movies that I go back to whenever it's on, they don't play it anymore on anything like on cable or anything.
Yeah.
Was The Last Starfighter. You guys remember that
Don't
one?
The Last
No.
Starfighter. No. Who's
He
in?
used to play it on the satellite dish a lot, all the time back then. But it was
It
about
was one of those movies.
yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Was it After Hours?
No.
Okay.
No, but it was the story.
It was during the day. That makes it even worse.
Okay, here's why I love this movie because nice.
I get something to add to that, but anytime we'd come home, our parents would be in the house.
Oh, yeah, tell the
and
story.
You
It's
could
good.
tell. You could tell they were watching naughty movies because as soon as you pulled in the driveway, you could hear the dish go going back to G4 or whatever it was instead of
yeah,
yeah.
because there was
man.
I think that particular satellite had like 3 channels. It was the porn channel. There was like some preacher channel.
Well, it was the
was like
Playboy
there was-
channel from what was it 8:00 in the morning till 7 at night, and then after that it was a Playboy channel.
And sorry, what was it before the Playboy channel?
It was some priest minister. Or
It
something
went from a
or other.
priest to the Playboy?
preacher. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, remember? I don't know if you remember this or not, but there was the American Triple Ecstasy was a channel they were watching,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So that was the porn. That was the hardcore. That was the X-rated channel.
That was the good stuff.
It was more than the Playboy stuff. But that channel or that satellite that channel was on had like a Bible TV or whatever it was on that same satellite. There was only like 3 channels on that satellite, if I recall. Now, at some point, they co-opted the porn channel, and on the porn channel, it was playing the preacher stuff because they were working.
They were
Were they?
advertising.
They were cross promotion. That's it. Yes, there's the cross promotion.
But
I was talking about
That's
before.
awesome. There's
Yeah.
good cross.
Well, listen,
That's
after
like-
you watch porn, you feel guilty. You got to go to the preacher.
That's right. Yeah, actually, yeah.
That's like having
And here's our father.
burger and fries.
Yes.
But they were actually trying to shut the channel down. So what they would do is they would break into their feed and replace it with their own. Like,
Wow.
That's like having a gambling show and then having gambling, supported by Gambling Anonymous or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Put down the chip. Put down the chip, son. You can do it. Okay? No more. No more.
I just want one more chip, Daddy. Just one more chip, Daddy.
Just one more. One more.
Only
Three
one
chips,
more.
three chips,
Only one
Daddy.
more. Only one more. Son, you can do it. Slowly back away from the table.
Here's your son's 4 years old.
Yeah.
Bringing him to the thing. He's my lucky son.
Yeah.
Pull that arm. Pull that arm. There we go.
Sir,
Daddy
we've-
needs a new pair of shoes.
Daddy,
Some new golf clubs.
Dad
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
a new guitar.
I need some Jordans. Daddy needs those Jordans really bad. Gotta look good at work.
oh my god. Okay, so
Off the rails.
off the rails.
Yeah, we do that often.
Okay, but hold on.
Daddy-
Hold on. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah.
So you guys get home. The satellite is turning.
Yes.
And you guys are like,
As
oh,
soon as we pull in the
shoot.
driveway, because I would go to Richard's house. And
Oh, so
his
you guys were driving at this, so you guys knew what was going on. This isn't something you figured out years later.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, but I would be.
It's not like you guys were like sitting on your sofa one day. You're like, hey, remember
Well, you had
like
your-
when we lived back home and the satellite would turn when we got home? What do you think that was? And then you guys were like, I think they could be watching porn. So you guys knew at the time. Okay, so
Well, because I
what
would.
would you guys do then? Would you guys just like, hi mom, how's your day?
Did you
Or
do
like,
signals, like baseball signals? Todd!
pull my ear?
Todd! When I grab my left ear, that means there's porn on. To tell parents are coming.
Left ear is
And
porn.
then turn it off the right.
Right ear is
Yeah,
preacher,
yes,
left ear is porn.
yes.
We found out years later, though, with that. Here's what we found out years later.
Is your mom gonna listen to this?
They used to tape this stuff on VHS tapes.
Oh, man.
They would just record.
Did they actually tape it?
Todd, they used to sell the cassette tapes.
Are you kidding me?
yes.
They had a ring going on.
Yes.
Horn ring going on.
Oh, this is the best.
Wow.
I have to say the name. I have to say the name off air, but it was because I don't
They
want.
had a
I don't want to
yeah.
incriminate anybody. But
they had
no,
a repeat
But
customer.
you know who the person that used to buy a lot of the porn off of mom and dad was a couple of Bible thumpers.
No
Oh
way.
man.
One of my friends who eventually moved to Winnipeg,
Right.
the first one that moved.
Okay. I think.
We'll just give his first name.
Is there-
Jason. Jason's friends.
He's
there-
like, we're going to
is
keep
there-
it anonymous.
Is there two
But
boys and a girl?
No,
maybe-
just a boy and a girl.
Okay.
they have an entourage of people or what? Buying
Well, no,
these?
but
it was
I'm
a
trying to think- because
revolving
families-
door.
Yeah.
Because at mom and dad's going away party when they were moving to Montreal,
Right.
his dad came and presented like it was a picture frame with something written in, and it was, "Thank you, Brian and Eileen, for all this triple ectity movies you used to tape for us.
Oh
We
my.
will miss these movies," or something. It was
That's
something
a
like
profound impact
Wow.
on their
I
lives.
can't wait till the next time I see your mom.
that. Well, she'll tell you the story.
I wish we would have recorded this like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All I know is, yeah, as soon as you pull in the driveway and you hear, you know.
Well, because it was noisy, right?
and this
Yeah, like
and
one
this
of those
isn't
big
you know-
satellites. Like
Yeah.
it was like a.
It was,
yeah.
it was
This
a
isn't
mesh.
a-
It was a mesh satellite dish. But
Yeah,
it was
this
like
thing
a
looked
30
like something
footer.
that would be out like in the desert out in Tucson, Arizona.
Like what Manny has?
These huge
No,
satellites.
Bigger than that.
huge.
Oh,
Like
wow.
bigger. Wow.
What is it? 10 foot
At least.
or bigger?
The dish itself, like in width.
Yeah.
Dish,
This is
yeah.
like a shack.
Well, you
Oh,
had,
yeah. Shit
well, you
sells.
had to
Well,
have an actual
you had to have
concrete
concrete.
base
Wow.
and a huge metal, piece.
Yeah,
that
you
went
had to
in
pour
there.
the concrete in order
This
to
wasn't
pour
like
the
the
Parents
Link
were probably
ones now.
spies or something.
Your parents were ahead of the game.
Well,
Way ahead.
okay, well, tell the story as to why we got it.
Oh boy.
Why we got it?
Yeah,
What,
why
the
did-
reason why I think we got it?
Yeah.
Did you guys push for it, both of you, or did
No,
your parents?
no.
No, well,
Okay.
my view was,
Yeah.
I mean, when you lived in Shediac, New Brunswick, you only had, well, 2 real channels. You
Okay.
had 2 and you had 7. 13 was snowy as crap.
That was
You'd-
Charlottetown.
You'd had to. You remember the dials you'd have to push in and
Yeah.
turn to try and
Yeah.
fine tune. Okay, so that was number 13, and the other one was the French channel. I think it was 11.
11.
Yeah. And that's all we had. Now they've probably changed them all, but that's what it was back then. And if you had rabbit ears, you were lucky. Well, they were all rabbit ears. We didn't have
Yeah,
cable.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was whatever came in over the air. So I guess in any time we wanted to watch, say, Sunday cartoons, we'd have to go. Oh, we go to sleep over at my grandparents. We were like, oh yeah, great.
And they lived in Moncton, and
Yeah.
that was far.
Saturday morning cartoons. It was like you had the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. You had Fat Albert. You had a whole bunch of ones that we'd never even had. So I mean that was awesome.
We had Hercules, and that was it.
So as to reason why we got it was probably because we just didn't have enough channels. But I don't know. Was there a different reason?
Oh,
Sean's-
I know
Sean's got the true
Oh,
sinister
I know.
reason.
I know the full story, and it was one of those moments where I was super proud of my dad. Super proud of my dad. So,
Oh, we got satellite, of course.
We got porn for free.
well, yeah, he's my hero.
Used to have to rent those tapes. At,
But but do you so before we got the satellite dish, I don't know if you remember, Dad bought this freaking antenna that he put on the house,
okay, yeah.
and you were going to get 13 channels with it or something, or 12 channels or something. And what Dad was trying to do, Dad was a huge NASCAR fan, and he wanted to watch the races. And he couldn't watch the races.
So we got to watch NASCAR.
So he got that antenna, and I don't know, the antenna didn't work. And then maybe it's around the time because Dad won the lotto. Remember, he won like $10,000.
Yeah.
His dad won the lotto.
Wow, man, I'm
10,000?
learning so
$10,000.
much about your
Back
family.
then,
Yeah.
that's huge.
He actually was checking his numbers. He was on the can.
Of course, that's
And he
how you
goes,
do it.
yeah.
Holy shit! Or something. And then Mom's like, "Oh my God, Brian, what's wrong?" And he's like,
The
"We
hemorrhoids.
just won the lotto." So maybe that's how he paid for it because we had no money.
Well,
So-
we also put it in the basement too. So.
Oh yeah,
But that was because of the flooding.
Yeah, but anyway, he
cool.
wanted to watch his NASCAR and he was frustrated. And I remember this because this is very I really remember this. He would call. They put cable. They started doing cable in Shediac.
Oh, I remember he was pissed because we couldn't get cable.
Well, he would call and say, "Look, is there anything you can do?" Because we lived on one side of the Trans-Canada Highway, and they decided to finally put cable on the other side of the Trans-Canada Highway.
Oh,
Closer
man.
to town,
And they-
but as
and
soon
they
as you
said,
hit
well-
the highway on the other
and they-
side,
We're gonna riot if that happened, man. We're gonna. They get it on that side of the street, but we
Well,
don't.
he was mad. He's like,
Oh,
"Well,
yeah.
look, I'll pay extra per month. I don't care."
Yeah.
Like, and then I think they eventually added cable on our street, but they stopped it at what's that road?
Who comes up with the stop at a road?
We're
Yeah,
gonna,
you know,
we're gonna
no,
stop
they
it at
had-
the McGinnity
yeah,
House.
But
Yeah.
they had to run the lines, and they only ran it so far down our
They only-
road,
right?
right?
Brutal.
So to the next house up, there's the road that goes to the pit.
Yeah,
They were going to run it that far.
Clovy.
Clovis. Yeah.
Clovis, yeah.
So they were only going to run it that far. And Dad, I remember Dad was on the phone. I think he was almost crying. He was like, "Look, I really want this. Like, I'm willing to pay extra, blah, blah, blah." I don't know how Dad was going to pay for it, but. And then the guy said, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't do anything. I'm sorry, sir."
We should have just ran a cable
See?
right
Yeah.
from Clovis all the way across.
Okay, so anyway,
This
so
is
sorry.
all making sense. Keep going.
So
This is
anyway,
all making sense.
so what ended up happening was Dad said, "Screw it." We went to that place in Moncton. It was right next to the A&W, the drive-through A&W.
Okay.
Like the old school drive-through A&W was right next to there. It's a satellite company.
Okay.
They were selling satellite dishes. They would do the installation. I don't remember how much Dad paid, but it was super expensive.
Oh, I can imagine.
And he said, "You know what? Screw this. We're going to get a satellite dish. I'm going to get to watch my races." So he bought the satellite dish. We had it installed. It was a big deal, all this. Anyway, I think it was like a week or two. I don't know. I'm a kid, so I
Figured out they couldn't get the races.
No. He got the races.
Oh,
He
okay.
watched them, yeah.
Yeah.
But then what happened was a few weeks after it was installed and everything's working fine, and back then nothing was scrambled, right? He gets a call from the cable company in Shediac. And I was there when it happened.
Okay. Oh, this would have been interesting.
So when they called, they said, "Hi, Mr. McGinnity." And I was like, "Oh, I'll let you talk to my dad." So whatever. Dad picks up the phone, and then Dad says, they're asking him, "Sir, we understand you have a satellite dish." "Yes, we do." "Well, we're wondering, we're the cable provider in Shediac. We're wondering if there's any way we can tap into your satellite dish so we can provide more channels for our subscribers." Well, Dad's,
Sure, pay up.
No, Dad's answer was, "Fuck you." I asked you, I
had your
begged you
chance.
guys. I was almost in tears begging you guys for cable, and you guys were never going to come through. And now you can run a line to my property to offer more. Fuck you.
yeah.
And I was like,
If it's
that's
lines,
that's the appropriate use of the word fuck. Like, you were right there, Dad.
yeah.
And it's like, I was so proud of him because he stood up like, "You know what?
After all the
I
bullshit.
embarrassed myself with
Yeah.
you guys to try to get my freaking races.
Yeah.
And then now you guys are asking me?
They'll run the line if they can make money off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dad was willing to pay
Way more
extra for
money.
the freaking cable.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the revenue they would get
They
from
would
the extra
make
signal,
yeah.
right off
Yeah.
of your dad. Yeah.
and they would probably just
Yeah.
sponge off
So
of
was-
that, and they
yes.
probably
Was
and
that
he
called
wouldn't have
Videon? What was that called? Remember the cable company?
I
Shadiac?
remember the name Videon, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
well,
that
fuck
could
you,
be.
Videon. If that's you guys, like,
Well, I don't know if
We
it's
had a video
them,
on
but
here too at one point.
we don't
Well,
want to.
we did have it, and it got sold to Shaw.
We don't want
Is that what it
to.
was?
Well, okay. Well, if they don't exist
See,
anymore, then
but
we're
then you
okay.
know what your dad did after that. Your dad was probably like, I could have made money here, and he probably regretted it a little
No,
bit.
he might have, yeah.
And then he thought, you know what? There's porn on the satellite. I'm gonna record it and sell it to the guy next door. And then he started paying for the satellite through the porn. So he wasn't watching porn when you guys got home, guys. He was making money for you.
he was making money.
There you go.
That's how he paid for that dish.
Well, there you go.
And if you can watch a little porn on the side, hey,
Hey,
why not?
why not? They kept it spicy, I guess.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
So anyway, years later, when we moved to Montreal, we moved to Winnipeg.
Right.
We had satellite dish there. I think that's when maybe they started.
When did you guys move to Winnipeg?
87, right?
Okay, wow.
Well, I
then
graduated in
actually,
86. I went back for a year, and
That's
then we
right.
came back in 87.
I think 87 was when he started selling the tapes. To be honest, it was when he moved to Winnipeg.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
All I remember there was a purple board, there was a red board, there was a whole bunch of different boards, and sometimes you'd have to take them in to be reprogrammed.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah, because they were that was the process where they're starting to scramble stuff.
And I think he had a purple board, which was the high end board, and then you end up getting a red board, and whoever it was that programmed it kept that board, which was the better board, and I guess he raised some shit or whatever and got it back. But
Oh yeah,
All the colors of the rainbow.
but that satellite followed us to Winnipeg.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, and then we moved to Montreal, and it followed us
Yeah.
to Montreal. So
Yeah.
Dad put it up in Montreal.
Wow. So he transported the thing
Oh yeah.
like halfway across the country.
Oh, you'd have
Yeah.
to take it apart, and then you'd have to have a new base poured. And
I'm sure in Montreal he would have been able to get NASCAR without having
Yeah.
to
Probably.
No,
put
but
this thing in the ground.
Yeah, but he loved the dish. But anyway, when we were living, I saw in Montreal was where I was living when it was the Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior match. I got to see it
wow.
on pay-per-view on the satellite dish.
You're lucky.
I don't think I ever saw that fight.
Yeah.
I actually had a bunch of people over from work, and we all watched it together. It was awesome. But when we were living in Montreal, they have a code within the suburb we lived in, and we got a complaint from a neighbor. Then they went to the city council or whatever to ask us to remove the satellite dish
satellite?
because it was unsightly.
You guys should have moved to a Portuguese neighborhood because I'm sure everybody had them there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You'd be like, come on here.
So Dad eventually took it down, and that's when he sold it. And that was the
So really,
last of the
so
dish.
that's a sad
And
ending.
and it was-
such
it
a
was-
great story.
But it was a great looking satellite dish. It was black mesh, so it wasn't unsightly. Like
No.
it wasn't those the ones that actually like you see in movies.
Like a
where-
bowl. Looks like a big bowl.
It
This
wasn't
was
like
a
that.
mesh. This was the wind blew it.
The wind blew through it.
through it, so you're not too bad. And it's crazy because they went from that size to these dinky ones that are barely 20 inches. Like they're not.
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
that
they
big.
don't need to be big
And I had
anymore.
2 of them. I actually put 2, and we had free to air. This was like a number of years ago. So you had 2 on the roof. You had one pointing. I think it was a Canadian satellite, and the other one was pointed to American satellite, or there was 2 different ones. I don't know, something or other. So we had free to air, and that was great because that worked for a number of years until they was it Anik 1 or Anik 3?
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God, yeah.
There was one of the satellites that they put online, and it scrambled everything, and you couldn't even do it anymore. Now you have to have a special dongle and do a whole bunch of stuff. So
That's different. Like the box you have.
We got
like,
rid of
that's
that.
a whole. Like that's not even. It's not even a dish in your house. Or
No,
anything,
there's no
right?
dish. It's like a box, just like you'd get from MTS or Shaw or
now
whatever.
everybody just streams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
No
people
one needs a
stream.
dish.
Yeah.
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 And then they have apps, right? And then you just stream off there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's crazy.
It's
completely
the
different.
AEW. That's what I did yesterday. You download the Bleacher Report app, and then I watched wrestling, streamed it,
Yeah.
and then you can watch it. It's amazing, this stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff they
Where,
have.
where'd you stream it on?
I streamed it off Bleacher Report.
So thanks for coming, guys.
No problem.
For anything you guys want to sign off with for this little bit?
Do you have a catchphrase or something you want to throw in?
No, I got it from the Marley family. Blessings to you, to everyone.
Drinking Bob Marley coffee right now.
Blessings
so-
to everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know
or
how many-
blessings to you and your family as well, because that's all. I got that from I like their music, like Ziggy,
Oh,
Damian
God, yeah.
Marley, the whole family. Like the whole family's like so talented.
There's a really good interview with Ziggy Marley on a local podcast.
Oh, is there? Nice.
I'll
Okay,
send it to you.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Sam from Which Police.
Ah,
Oh, wait. Before we sign off for this episode, we issued a challenge to Sam Thompson from Which Police last episode. Mm-hmm. but he wasn't quite sure what the challenge was. So let's be very succinct in the challenge. So we had to play incorrect journalism last time, and he provided the headlines, and they were atrocious.
Oh man.
Okay.
They're horrible.
Who's this, Sam?
Sam Thompson from Witch Police.
Come on, Sam.
So the challenge is, Sam, we're going to come up with, well, he sent us 2 headlines. We're going to send him 2 headlines, and he's going to have to talk about it on a show. And if he can't talk about it on a show because he doesn't feel he can, then he's got to come in here and play incorrect journalism with the boys. That's the challenge.
Okay.
Because he got us good, and we got an episode out of him on his horrible headlines. We're going to give him some horrible headlines to answer on either our show or if he can do it on his own. That's the challenge. Are you up to it, Sam? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
That was Todd. That's not Sam.
Oh, shit. All right, so we're going to sign off here. The official challenge has been issued, Sam. And we're going to sign off here, and we'll see you on the flip side.
See ya.